So hello and welcome to this webinar on how and why the free from category is growing. My name's Roseanna Evans. I'm a marketing and commercial consultant at HRA Global, a full service commercial consultancy specialising in the FMCG industry. Over the last decade, we've helped over 100 clients across 25 countries in our three key business areas. These are commercial, marketing and business consulting, so from anything from high-level strategic consulting to commercial relationship building and helping you get your products out there. We work in market research, so we do qualitative, quantitative and our own bespoke market reports. And of course, exporting. We're poised to help at every stage of the export journey, from initial research and market mapping to partner selection and logistics consulting, all the way through to in-country market support. So we'll start with a background on the free from categories. The free from category has largely emerged over the last 20 to 25 years. Its origins were a response to an increasing understanding of allergies, intolerances and related conditions. Initially a niche category, bought largely by those with medical reasons, many years on, free from finds itself at the core of a broader consumer movement in a way that's no fad. This wider movement spans health, well-being, vegan, animal cruelty, fair trade, free from, and the increasingly hard-edged issues of sustainability in the environment. This fuses free from into other categories such as vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, natural and organic. So a big question here is, do we call free from the umbrella brand for these other subcategories, including vegan, or do they all have their own distinct agendas? So for the purposes of our webinar, what exactly do we mean by free from and what areas do we cover? So traditionally free from is largely gluten, dairy and lactose free. However, recent years has seen the category expand beyond this into allergen free, vegan and plant-based and even sugar free and salt free. So important to cover are the key trends and opportunities across the wider market, which of course filter down into the free from category. So trends and opportunities. Here we'll look at some of the trends and opportunities in the wider food and drink market, as well as look at how these filter down into the free from category. So pre-COVID, convenience was a huge trend. We're looking at things like snacking, on the go, shorter cooking times, quick cook recipes, and even contemporary fast food. So we saw an increase in healthy fast food chains such as Leon, largely aimed at commuters and those working in offices. Obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the landscape somewhat, with the vast majority of workers working from home for the foreseeable future. It remains to be seen how the situation will pan out over the next 12 to 18 months, but we would expect, as life gets closer to the old normal, we'd expect the convenience trend to re-emerge stronger than ever. Secondly, health is a key issue, particularly within free from, when many people are consuming free from foods for health reasons. The areas covered here is of course free from itself, fitness and high protein, which go hand in hand, the clean eating trend, which we've seen gain huge speed over the last 5 years, sugar reduction, which is another massive issue, and it's highly debated whether or not sugar reduction itself fits into the free from category, as well as the concept of full of rather than free from, which I'll go into in greater detail later in this webinar. Thirdly, we have premium. So as real incomes rise over the continent, we're seeing an increase in health trends, which are often priced at a premium, an increase in popularity of innovative exotic ingredients, as well as huge demand and huge growth in retailer premium lines. So now we'll look at what's driving the market. So beyond the obvious allergies and intolerances, some key drivers behind the huge growth of the free from market over the last 6 to 7 years have been an increase in celebrities endorsing free from diets, which in turn has led to an increase in media attention. Increased presence in retail, so there's more free from products available, meaning they're more accessible to consumers, meaning more consumers can buy into the category more easily. Rising incomes mean consumers have higher disposable income to spend on free from products, which are typically priced at a premium. Larger brands entering the category is driving prices down at the same time as well, meaning the category is becoming increasingly accessible to mainstream consumers. Looking at why consumers choose free from, a huge 50% of the category do so for reasons not related to their health. That's 27% as a lifestyle choice, 23% to avoid bloating. 31% buy into the category to improve their general health, with just 14% buying in because of an allergy or intolerance. COVID-19 saw a huge increase in growth in the category, particularly in dried goods, as standard products faced supply issues. So we saw a lot of stockpiling of rice, pasta, which led to many purchasing free-from products because they couldn't get hold of the standard alternatives. This has continued to drive growth in the category as during the switchover, consumers realised there isn't the taste and quality trade-off in free-from foods that many perceived there to be. On the other hand, however, there hasn't been growth across the whole category. On-the-go snacking has seen a huge decline, a category which typically over-indexes in free-from sales due to a huge decline in commuters' competition in the category. So across the wider free-from category in the UK, the market leader is Alpro with sales of a huge 64.8 million, followed by Oatly, Lacto-free and then Genius over in gluten-free. In 2019 to 2020, the number of free-from ranges have grown from 766 ranges to 838 across the multiple retailers. So that's a huge increase in the amount of free-from products available. Amongst alternative milks, oat is fast becoming the favourite in a category previously dominated by soya and almond. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, there's still opportunities within snacking. However, on-the-go snacking itself has declined. We're also interestingly seeing a decline in the free-from aisle itself, with free-from ranges now situated across the wider supermarket. We're also seeing an increase in indulgent products for special occasions, which still support digestive health, as that's the key trend at the moment. So a quick overview of gluten-free, which takes up a huge £416 million of estimated UK sales in the category. However, gluten-free has struggled recently over the last few years with a negative perception that the products can be heavily processed. Increasingly grain-free and more natural products which are considered more natural are a large opportunity for NPD. Despite this, however, gluten-free is still widely talked about, with a huge 70,000 plus social media conversations about just gluten-free pasta alone tracked since March. So now we'll look at dairy-free, which has overtaken gluten-free in the last couple of years to become the largest free-from subcategory. This is hugely driven by the plant-based, flexitarian, vegan movement, which is debated whether or not this movement constitutes part of free-from. Nevertheless, it's a huge driver behind purchases of dairy-free products. So the dairy-free category brought in a huge 517 million UK sales in 2019, adding a huge 102 million sales increase to the category. So who is purchasing dairy-free? So as we can see by the graphic, it's largely made up by under 34-year-olds, with 39% of 18 to 24-year-olds and 36% of 25 to 34-year-olds opting for dairy-free products. This then declines with age, so we're looking at 24% of 35 to 44-year-olds, down to 14% of over 55. So the category is largely dominated by the younger consumer. As the category matures, we're seeing its health and nutritional credentials increasingly in the spotlight, with nutrition long being the weak spot of free-from. So if we look at the table on the side, we're seeing the nutritional credentials of some free-from alternatives being quite clearly higher in fat and sugar than their traditional counterparts. We're also seeing the need for manufacturers to add value to free-from food. So increasingly we see in the market move away from the absence of a product being its main USP and towards shouting about the inclusion of a specific ingredient or superfood as its main reason for selling it. Many people across the category are largely in agreement that it's time for free-from to get serious about its ingredients, particularly with so many consumers turning to the category for health and lifestyle related reasons. Thank you very much for listening to our webinar today. If you'd like a copy of our slides, or you'd like to hear more about what it is that we do to help companies within the UK market, please get in touch. My email address is roseanna@hraglobal.com.